I don't know when I started keeping it. There's no title, no folder, no formal record, but I know exactly who's on it. The list. People who hurt me, betrayed me, walked away when I needed them most. Some names I thought I'd moved on from. Some names I've circled again and again. I used to think the list made me stronger, but if I'm honest, it's made me tired. This season on Other People's Shoes, we're opening up the pages, not to fix it, to admit the list exists, and ask what it's really costing us to keep it. Welcome to Season 23, The List. Now, here's your host, Neil Matthews.
Yes, welcome in one and all. Come on in. There is, in fact, room for all. We got a space, we got a spot. Don't worry, there's no fighting over the parking spot. Everyone has a spot, everyone has a place. It's okay. There's room for one and all. Yes, come on in. Actually, it's a little chilly today. I got the hoodie on in the Shoe Shack studio. I actually had to turn the AC on because it was so hot in the studio today. Hot mic, hot studio. You know, I'll tell you a place that I feel like it's cold year round. It never gets warm. I feel like it's this place that polar bears may be wandering around the Target Center. You got to be careful. There might be even timberwolves. Maybe there's all kinds of gophers just popping up all over the place. Maybe my friend Matt can tell us more about that. Welcome in, Matt. You are my new friend now. So here you are. You're in Minnesota. What's going on, Matt? How are you?
I'm doing good. Yes, it is cold. It just got done snowing, actually. It was freezing just a couple of days ago, and it's right now, I think it's like 34 degrees out right now.
That's chilly. That's chilly.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, the folks at home can't see you. I can see you. You have a lot of tattoos. How many tattoos do you think you have? Do you have that number?
No, I don't. I haven't really counted. I'd say about 30 big tattoos.
30 big tattoos. Okay.
All my sides are done. My back's done. From the chest up to my neck, all my arms are done. Side of my head's done.
Wow.
And my knees down are done.
Wow. What do you say to a guy that only has 2 tattoos?
Yeah, you got a lot of space to fill. You better get to work. You got a lot of work to do, yeah. Be careful, they're addicting.
I have heard that, but I got one. You can kind of see him in the background there. You see a ram maybe sitting back there next to the fridge there. Yes, there's a fridge in the Shoe Shack studios, everyone. Yes, okay, there is a fridge. Get over yourself. A tattoo of the North Carolina mascot. Little small fan, as I was telling you before we started recording. You can't see it yet, but it's going to be here.
Hey,
it's
man,
the University
cool.
of North Carolina Argyle pattern. Do you get odd looks? Does anybody treat you differently? Stared at you? Kids looked at you weirdly? Help me understand that, and then we'll get to some real questions.
People tend to judge a book by its cover. They think you're in a gang, or they think you're a biker. Usually, if you tell, I'm pretty clean cut. I dress kind of, some people would say preppy. I don't know. I'm 47 years old. I don't even know if they use preppy anymore.
We'll use it because I'm 46. So yeah, we'll use preppy. I know what you're talking about. Zach Morris, here we come.
So I guess I kind of confuse people by the way I dress. I dress kind of neat, and then I have all these tattoos. That kind of confuse people.
It's a weird dynamic, I would imagine. Like, oh, wait, what's going on there?
I think they expect somebody with a bunch of tattoos to be riding motorcycles, running with gangs and stuff.
Or in a gang. Yeah, that was my vote. I was going gang, not motorcycles. So the judging may stop. It may continue. And this next question, and that's this. What size shoes do you wear?
10.5.
You didn't even hesitate. You knew that one. You got that one down. All right, great job. They're going to get harder, I promise.
Okay.
Now, here's the most important question. Is there a style or brand of shoe? Now, there's only one brand in my mind. Maybe there's others. I don't know. But in mine, there's only one, and I'll give you a hint. It's on my microphone. Don't be influenced by the microphone. What would be your style or brand of shoe you like the most?
Been getting into the Pumas. I'm not, I don't know. I just, my back history will explain like why I get so confused about like clothing and stuff. I don't really know my style yet. I'm still learning that.
You're still finding your style. Puma's okay. As long as you didn't say Skechers or New Balance, we're fine.
The ones I really like are those On Clouds.
Oh.
Those On Clouds are like some of the Hokas for work and stuff.
Sure.
Man,
you're really old
if you're wearing shoes, man.
You're really old if you're wearing Hokas and On Clouds, though. I just want to put that out there. They're the new Skechers in my mind.
Are they? Yeah.
I don't know. Messing with you.
They're pretty comfortable though.
My wife loves the On Clouds, and she had Hokas. She really didn't like them. I'm a Jordan guy. I don't know if you could tell that. I absolutely love Jordans.
Okay. Yep. People like those. Yep.
I have a lot of them. Can you guess the color of most of my Jordans? Just a guess.
Baby blue. Like baby blue.
Yes. Great job. Yes, Matt. That's great. Yes, absolutely. They are baby blue. It's so weird how you knew that.
Yeah,
not sure how.
That's a good color.
It's a great color. It's a great color.
Yeah,
it's not just a good color. It's a great color. It's a great color. Everything looks good in baby blue. I'm just saying. Well,
It
Matt,
does.
help us with this. I'm excited because I found you on Facebook. You're looking to get on shows. You've probably been on a few shows. And after today, you might not want to be on shows anymore. You're like, if I have to talk to crazy people like Neil, I don't know if I want to be on shows anymore. Hopefully you will meet much nicer people and less crazier people than me. I'm in this season called The List. Some names that maybe we've not been able to forgive. And maybe some list of people that were like, they really hurt me. I don't know if I can forgive them. Now, do you think you're maybe more on someone else's list, or do you think you have your own list? Or maybe it's both. Tell me more.
It's definitely probably both. I feel like some people's played a part in my hurt. Guarantee you that I've hurt some people, whether it was accident or on purpose. Hurt people, and it's just whether you do it on purpose or not. I can even find some of the people to ask for forgiveness. Let them know I'm doing good now. I'm not the same guy I was back then. And I ask for forgiveness. Should probably show that to other people, just like I seek it. It's tough. It's tough.
Why would you maybe be on someone else's list?
I haven't lived my life perfectly. I got out of 13-year federal prison sentence. I was an emotional reactor, reacted to things emotionally. That's the way I reacted, was drug use, criminal activity, not responding to people properly. And I probably left a bad taste in some people's mouths. For that, I'm sorry. That federal prison sentence changed my life. Got out here, and that's why I'm on the podcast, to try to just pay it all forward. And even though sometimes I can't make amends to people directly, I do it indirectly by just doing the right thing, paying things forward. Because if those people can check up on me, hopefully if they could see me doing good, if they say, hey, how's that guy doing? And they say, hey, he's doing good, hopefully that brings some peace to their life.
So maybe the obvious question, how did you find yourself in federal prison?
I went inside a McDonald's, robbed it by gunpoint. But again, I was an emotional reactor. As me and my wife at the time were going through a separation. We were still legally married. We were talking about working things out. She was already seeing another guy. Right away, I was jealous. She said she needed some money. Thought I could win my family back by resorting back to some old ways and say, look what I did for you. And that brings me to the whole forgiveness thing. The person I did it for was the person that called the police on me, was my wife. And I did the crime for her. And that is really hard to get over. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I appreciate that. It's good to never lie.
Yeah.
I'm not a criminal. I mean, I've done dumb stuff. I don't think I've ever robbed anybody, especially McDonald's at gunpoint, broken into somebody's house and stolen stuff. I've done drugs, sure, alcohol. I smoked cigars. I smoked pot once, only once. I've never done like anything harder than that. Your words a while back, you used the word prep. I feel like I'm a pretty preppy, straight arrow, kind of straight edge kind of guy. I grew up in the church, became a pastor, so pretty much lived a pretty sheltered life. I'm just trying to put myself in your Pumas for a second. If I'm going to rob somebody, why on earth would I rob a McDonald's? Like the most I might get is maybe $1,000, maybe on a good night. I might get some chicken nuggets out of the deal, maybe a McFlurry. I'm not getting a ton of cash. That doesn't compute with me.
It wasn't a ton of cash. It was $4,000.
Wow.
It was, and the reason why it was a McDonald's, it was midnight. It was the only thing that was open. It was either that or an Applebee's. Again, it was an emotional reaction. Got away with it a bunch of times when I was younger. I just resorted back to some old ways. I was trying to win my family back, and I was just desperate. When your emotions are high, your ability to reason is low. You have to get yourself to a point. Emotions are low. Your ability to reason is higher. Think through things. And at that time, I just didn't let myself do that. And I was desperate. I was jealous. I wasn't thinking at all.
Do you remember the faces of the workers at the McDonald's?
Yep.
I don't know who's going to hear your show. I hope everyone does. I mean, that's my hope as a creator. Right? But if somehow you could speak directly to that shift worker at McDonald's, manager, that whoever was there at the time of the robbery, what would you want them to hear in this moment from you?
I would want them to know that I'm really sorry for the trauma that I caused that night. I'm sorry that you were a victim of my emotional immaturity. I'm just sorry for the chaos that I created for your life. Hope you're doing okay now. I want you to know that I'm doing good, sober. I'm in a Christian leadership institute right now. And I'm learning how to do my own pastoral things and just paying things forward to other people and just showing other people how to get out of that type of life so they don't have to hurt anybody anymore either.
Do you think those people, not only at the McDonald's, but even you talked about your ex-wife, in your mind, should they forgive you? Any of those people that you've mentioned so far?
As a Christian, I could argue yes. That's up to them, though. That's ultimately up to them. I'm not not here to force people to forgive me. If they do or they don't, I'm still sorry for the drama I've caused in their life. It doesn't take away my apology.
I think it's important that people know that you've served your time, you paid your debt to society. As far as I know, you didn't kill anybody on that robbery night. You didn't hurt them. Probably just scared the crap out of them, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And again, I was just making light of the fact that you might have gotten some chicken nuggets and a McFlurry.
I asked my lawyer the same thing. A lot of people make fun of me. They say, hey, did you get a 20-minute nugget out of the deal? And my lawyer said, you're lucky you didn't make them make you something, because it'd be like forced slavery or something like that. It would have been an enhancement. I probably would have got about 27 years for that. I'm like, wow.
So there's a movie I saw recently with Channing Tatum, I think it is. He's the rooftop robber or something like
Burglar.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool story, actually. I really liked it. I felt bad for the guy, and it's
sounds familiar.
Based on a true story. I think he robs a Burger King. He might rob a McDonald's. I don't remember in the movie. When I first heard you telling that story, I was like, wait, are you the rooftop guy? It'd be cool if you were.
No.
I watched it, I think, on Hulu. I wonder about you growing up. Somewhere in the journey, somewhere along the way, you said it, bears repeating, hurt people. This giant cycle, like a merry-go-round we can't get off of.
Yeah.
Did anywhere along the journey prior to your imprisonment and prior to maybe you getting in trouble with the law and drugs and all the things that you've been involved in, people would categorize as maybe bad. Did anybody show you, like somebody would show you how to tie your shoe or show you how to ride a bike, skills that we learn along the way? Did anybody teach you how to forgive someone?
No, actually, I don't. No, I don't ever remember it. You know, you hear of, I forgive you. It's almost like somebody saying they love you, or somebody saying, hey, I love you, man. It's just kind of in one ear and out the other. It's kind of like, hey, love you, bro, or love you, girl, you know, or whatever. And yeah, I forgive you. Don't worry about it. When I forgive somebody, I've learned that now that I understand forgiveness, not only do I tell them that they're forgiven, but I also show them that they're forgiven by my actions and let them really understand that they are forgiven, not just say it. I want them to really feel like they're forgiven. And if they don't feel forgiven, then I got a little more work to do.
Your imprisonment, what did that experience teach you about forgiveness, even about yourself? I mean, I visited people in prison, but I've never been on that other side of that glass.
Man, you know, I had to sit a long time. Out of those 12 years, it probably took me about 8 or 9 years to get over my wife calling the police on me. When I got about 3 years until my release, realized like how good I'm actually doing. I changed a lot. I started educating myself throughout the whole prison sentence. I was working out, educating myself. I was writing up business plans, writing a book, and I finally just finished thinking like, if she never called the police on me, yeah, I would have never been to prison, but if I didn't come to prison, I wouldn't have been mentored by some of the lifers that are really good mentors. Met some mobsters and some pretty high-profile inmates that really taught me a lot of positive things that are doing life and never getting out. Now I understand. I wouldn't have gone to prison and created a whole different life for myself. Who knows what I would have been doing if I would have stayed out on the streets? I probably would have been a drug addict or just dead.
Do you have a relationship with her now?
No, we talk very rarely. We just don't talk. She's married. She's got her own life going on. My son is 17 now. He was just turned 4 the month after I went in. So, you know, I got out when he was 16 and now he's 17 now. And just call him on the phone. I guess me and her just don't have anything to talk about. I mean, we talk pretty rarely.
So you mentioned your son being 4 and then fast forward, he's 16 when you get out. That's a life. What do you want your son to see in your life now? He knew of you, I'm sure, maybe not. But what do you want your son to see in your life now that he didn't get to see before?
What I want him to see now is good example. If I could explain it in one word or 2 words, is just a good example of how to live your life and how to treat people and how to just love people. There's a saying that love cures everything. I really believe that. I think the way we love others is really important. I didn't start learning all that until I actually got out of prison. There was things that happened when I got out of prison too that really changed my life too. I thought I did really good in prison, which I did, and I shouldn't take any of that away from myself. But when I got out of prison, I went through a lot more. The way I get through these situations, my son's watching me. I need to be an example of how to get through tough situations instead of responding in negative ways. Kid's watching. If his dad's going to do it, then it's giving him the permission statement to do it too, and that's not what I want.
You talk about being in the teen challenge Challenge program. You were sharing that with me before we started recording.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you to be part of that organization of Teen Challenge? And what has that done for you as an individual?
Man, so when I got out of prison, I got out May 29th of 24. My mom passed away 3 months later. We were really excited. We were talking on the phone, Matt, you're getting out of prison. Can't wait to see you. My mom was just really proud of me and getting through that time, because there was times when I didn't even think I was make it out of there. And, she was just really happy. When I got out, 5 weeks later, I got a job. That same week, I found out she had lung cancer. They said she's got to go on hospice right away, and she died 2 months later. It was that quick. It just floored me, man. I wanted to die with her. I resorted to drugs, relapsed 8 times in 5-month period. And then I said, well, I did this much time in prison. I do another year in inpatient treatment, which was adult and teen challenge. Put myself in there. It really taught me how to forgive God. I was really mad at God. God, if you know everything, like you knew how I was going to respond to this situation and you took her anyways, you could have took my dad instead of my mom. You took my mom. Really mad at him. Teen Challenge really just taught me how to build a relationship with God. And I'm at a point now where I thank God for my mom's death. Mom's death probably saved my life. If she didn't die, I went to relapse and did drugs. If I didn't do drugs, I went to gone into the program. And if I didn't come to the program, probably went to build a relationship with God. Now that I've gotten through that, I'm at the Adult and Teen Challenge Leadership Institute, where I'm learning pastoral stuff, how to put together speeches, and how to be a positive, godly role model in roles that we play in other people's lives. And amen to that. Thank God for my mom's death, man.
There'd be those that have a halo like an angel.
Yeah.
They call them godly halos sometimes. Sometimes they have them on a little tight. They're a little uppity. I think that's a word in the church, uppity. There are some that would hear you, though, and say, you know what, Matt, you're disqualified from being a pastor. Matt, kidding me? The harm and the headache and the vitriol that you've caused people and the villain that you are? How dare you even dream of being a pastor? Like, you are not even qualified. What would be your response to them? Not me, by the way. I'm not saying that.
What I would say is that it's all from the enemy. The devil really likes to say, who do you think you are? Thinking you can do a podcast and impact people. Who do you think you are? Thinking you can write a book, be a positive role model to other people. And that's what the devil wants you to think. He doesn't want you to change. And when you look at the Bible, Paul in the Bible, he killed Christians. He seeked them out and he murdered Christians. And he became one of the most powerful voices for Christ in the history. He doesn't use perfect people. Name a single perfect person that God's used for his ministry. He doesn't use polished people. He doesn't use perfect people. And he said, you're exactly the kind of person I want. Because of my past, I'm going to teach other people, impact other people on how to get past their things too. God was the blueprint for me. I'm going to be the blueprint for other people.
I think that's what's so powerful about your story. So many times somebody could easily make that argument. You're not good enough. It sounds like, at least, you have the mindset of you're not worried about the left. You're not worried about the right. You're worried about the lane that you're supposed to be in and focused on that finish line. And I love that. At least that's what I'm hearing you say. If I'm wrong, of course, correct me. That is what I'm hearing you say. No, that's
true. Yeah, that's right. I think the Bible's the playbook. You don't veer left. You don't veer right. The Bible's the playbook, man. If you don't follow the play, man, it's over with. Game over.
You mentioned being mentored by lifers in prison. That seems a little counterintuitive to me, that these guys that will never taste freedom as you're tasting it right now. These guys will never have their own quote unquote clothing that you're wearing right now. It's always the number and the pants and the things. And they will never have the cool Pumas, I'm sure, that you're rocking right now, right? They'll have the prison shoes.
They definitely won't.
Whatever those are. I don't even know. Maybe somebody needs to get me a pair of prison shoes so I can see what that feels like.
Nikes.
Are they Nikes?
A lot of them are Nikes.
Dang it.
Yeah, a lot of them are Nikes.
You did it, so now you just have to do it. That's Nike's slogan. Just do it. I don't know. I worked that in somehow to a prison thing.
Just do the time.
Just do the time. Yeah, that should be Nike's new slogan. Just do the time. What do you think was a number one lesson or two lessons that you really learned from those guys that you could share with us that really spoke into your heart? You're like, man, if I get a chance, man, if I ever get out of here, man, I'm going to make sure I never forget.
Follow the plan and never veer off it. Remember where you made the plan and why. You never veer off the plan. Do not let anything distract you. Be patient. If you feel stagnant, don't worry about it. It's okay to hit a plateau. Just be patient with yourself. Give yourself room to make mistakes. Give other people room to make mistakes. Don't place such high expectations on people, and just or yourself, and follow the plan. Follow the plan.
I think that's so important. You have every reason in the world to maybe not forgive somebody. Let's face it. If somebody called the police on me, I probably would have a hard time forgiving forgiving them. You have good reasons not to forgive someone. What encourages you to forgive someone when it's the hardest?
It takes a lot of energy to hold on to that resentment, man. When I think about the situation, it just builds up hate, it builds up resentment, it builds up ugly just feeling. I don't like that. Instead, just let it go and just be grateful for all the positive things that came out of that experience instead of all the things that I missed. Think of all the positive things that was created out of it. Thank God I came out of prison the way I did. Probably the best thing that ever happened to me besides what's going on in my life right now.
Did you have any type of relationship, faith growing up? Is God and this whole church thing, is it new to you?
I was raised in the church. My mom was a Christian. She brought me to church. I always skipped church all the time. Like I skipped school. She went to the adult side. I went to the teenager side and go out and steal her cigarettes and smoke cigarettes. And then I sneak back in and she never found out. My mom was a single mom and she didn't know how to discipline us. As I grew up, you're always raised around like God this, God that. Through my prison sentence, I read the Bible a little bit here and there when I felt like it. I liked the music because it was peaceful. It brought a lot of peace to my life. When my mom died, 3 days after she died, I had a dream. And in the dream, she had a bunch of tattoos like I did. And in real life, she did. My mom was a really good believer. In the dream, she told me, she grabbed my hand and she said, Matt, just do what I did and you're going to be just fine. Follow me and you're going to be just fine. And I woke up because my girlfriend at the time, I was yelling in my sleep and I was crying. And I said, my mom, I wanted to go back to sleep. And I couldn't go back to sleep. So I started yelling at her. Why did you wake me up? I told her my dream. Dang, heaven's real. And ever since that dream, man, I really believed, man. I'm like, wow.
That's powerful.
Still think about that dream almost 2 years ago.
You talk about your mom being a single mom. Do you feel like if your dad had been in the picture, would that have changed your trajectory of prison? Or do you think that wouldn't have mattered any? You still would have made the choices you made?
It's hard to tell. My dad was an alcoholic. He was doing his own thing. He's a knucklehead too. Who knows? Could have been worse. Who knows? In the end, I'm completely responsible for the way I respond to things. Your response is always a choice. I mean, you can change your life at any time.
You can change your life at any time, huh? You believe that?
Yeah. I mean, you don't know the future. Nobody knows the future. You do good things, you're going to have a good future. I mean, you do bad things, you're going to have a bad future. You don't know what the future is, but it's going to be bad. If you do good things, your future is going to be good. You don't know what the future is, but you know it's going to be good. So I don't worry about the future anymore. I do the next right thing. Just do the next right thing. You don't have to worry. It's not like chess. People say, oh, I'm 5 steps ahead of you. No, just the next right move. Very next right move, man.
I think that's the hard part sometimes for me, is sometimes I'm not sure what the next right move is. So in your mind, when you say that, what's the next right move? No matter the situation, there's always a right move. It's almost like an absolute. What would you say the next right move should be? What? Is there like a statement or a mantra or maybe a thing that you recite or something?
So the next right move, I would say, depends on where you're at in life. If you don't know what the next right move is, then don't make a move. Just sit and be still. The guys working in the background. Just sit down and you don't have time to move too fast or you feel stagnant. You just feel like you're not going anywhere. You feel like you have to move. You're going to make the wrong decision. Just sit and be still. Sit and be still. You don't always have to be moving all the time. Sometimes the best move is just no move.
I think that's the problem I run into is I'm a computer guy. I'm kind of a tech
It's
nerdy.
hard.
I'm a kind of a tech nerdy guy. And so even in podcasting, I'm always downloading a file or I'm waiting on a file. There's the progress bar. We all know this. And it's going across uber slow. And you're like, man, come on, just a little faster, little quicker, a little faster. And sometimes I don't have the patience. Maybe that's the key. The patience to be still and wait. Now, did you ever have to do like a solitary confinement type thing?
Yeah, I did 9 months in solitary confinement.
9 months?
Yep, I had to do 9 months in there. It was a mandatory gang yard, so you had to be in a gang in order to even be in that prison. And I didn't run in a gang, and I didn't believe in it. So I was like a year and a half to getting out. If you're running in a gang, like bad things can happen. You got to follow the leader, do whatever they say, and you got to conform. You never know who those people are and that make the decisions in there on that yard. So I just didn't believe in it. And I'd rather stay in solitary confinement until I get out instead of catching a life sentence or getting killed that close to the door. At that point, I was doing whatever it took to just get out of prison. At that time, I didn't care. In order to go to another prison, because it was federal, I was in Leavenworth waiting to go to Illinois. Process just took about 9 months because they won't transfer you unless you're at a prison for 6 months. And then it takes like 3 months for the transfer process to go through.
9 months just seems like a long time with your thoughts.
Yeah, that's a long time. That's where I started the book. My people said, you need to speak and write. And I'm like, yeah. They just finally just like, dude, Matt, you really need to write, man. I'm like, all right. So I just started writing. I didn't know what I was even writing about. I was just kind of writing through my sentence and through my situations that I was finding myself in and just what I was going through at the time. No matter how deep or emotional it was, I wrote it down, and throughout a 3-year period, finished it. I didn't know where I was going with the book, and finally I just slowly like, dang, I think I might be able to actually do this. I finally finished it, and then I came up with a name. It's called The Devil Lost Another One. Finally got it on Amazon.
So you have some titles in your life. Have you thought about that? Like, you have some titles. So let's go through some titles. You're a son. Okay. That's a title.
Yep.
Your father. That's a title. Both of us share that. Both of us are fathers, so we share that in common. Both of us have been forgiven. That's a title.
Many times.
I think we could even say child of God. It's a title.
Yeah.
We could say that. Author. That's a title not a lot of people have. Husband. That's another title that people have. Some have, some don't.
Yep.
Of those titles that I mentioned, which title for you is the most important title?
Being a child of God, my Father in heaven, he's teaching me how to father my own son. He's teaching me how to love others like he loves me, and how to forgive others like he forgives me. And just a perfect example of love. And I try to replicate that as much as possible. Obviously, I make mistakes, and I'll never be like him. Try to do as the best I can. And God knows my heart posture. He knows, I do the best I can. I'm sorry for the times I messed up, that I don't love like I should, and I judge people when I shouldn't. It's just my flesh coming out, and I don't mean to do it. It's hard, man. It's hard. And I just look at his example. How does he respond to people? I just try to replicate that when dealing with other people, and I just do the best I can.
Do the next right thing.
Yeah, just do the next right thing.
Well, Matt, I want you to think about something, if you can, with me, that if you could somehow go back prior to your McDonald's experience, and somehow you could stop yourself. What did that young man all those years ago that was so desperate to win back his wife, win her love again, which, by the way, I've done some crazy romantic gestures. I don't think this is quite in line with Hallmark or any of those romantic rom-com movies. That's not on the list. So guys, if you're taking notes, this is not on the list. Don't do this one. Skip over this one. Just move on to the next one. Do the next right thing, in Matt's words. If you could get in front of that guy prior to him setting foot in that dining room at McDonald's, somehow if you could get his attention, if you could get your arms wrapped around him or get in his face, maybe he'd try to throw hands with you. I don't know. That seems like a street lingo. I don't know where that came from. I got some street cred to me, maybe. If you could somehow get in front of him, what would you say to him?
I would say if you do this, your whole life's going to change.
Would he believe you?
If I was the one saying it to myself, probably.
I mean, it'd be like this weird space-time, Back to the Future, butterfly effect continuum. It's easy to say, speculative. It's fun. Yeah. I think it's fun. I had a guest tell me recently it's a dumb question. Stop asking people that question. I'm like, it's my show. I'll do what I want. I'm the executive producer and the talent, so I get to ask whatever I want, whenever I want.
Amen.
I mean, it's easy to go back and say, yeah, I would stop him. I would do everything I could to stop him. Do you think he needed to hear something that he wasn't hearing that you could tell him?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I would tell him that, you don't have to do this to feel validated, or you don't have to do this to be loved. You're already loved. This isn't worth it. Everything's going to change right now, and you're going to lose everything. You're going to miss out on some blessings. Your blessings are going to be given to somebody else. It's up to you. You're going to regret this. Since I did follow through with stupid thinking, I try to just pay it forward. Think you're doing the right thing by doing stupid things, and it's your whole life is just going to change. It's okay to not respond. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is walk away.
There's power in walking away. There's power in shutting your mouth. There's power in not responding. There's power in taking a moment, counting to 10. I mean, the basic stuff that we all know.
Big power, yeah.
There's big power in that. Hardest person to forgive ever has been whom?
The hardest person to forgive? Probably my dad, my earthly dad, yeah.
Why?
When I was 16, I went down there to go live with him. I wanted to get to know him. He was my dad. When I was 11 years old, I got to see him for a week. When I was 13, I got to see him. He came out to Minnesota for a couple of days. And then when I was 16, I went out to go live with him to get to know him. And then a few months later, he was hanging clothes outside on the clothesline. And he said, I can't do it no more. And you got to go back to live with your mom. He didn't give me a reason. He just said he couldn't do it anymore. And he already had my stuff packed up and he didn't even drive me to the bus station. And I'm like, dang.
He didn't even drive you to the bus station?
No, I had to get my own ride to the bus station. I had a lot of resentment and I still got resentment towards that. I really do, man. And we just now started talking about not that. We just started really talking. I said, we still have things we got to talk about, Dad. And I'm 47 now. That was 31 years ago. I still don't care for the guy. I know just on my walk right now, I have to forgive and I have to give him a chance. And I still have to love no matter what. And as hard as that is, to do the best I can to forgive. Part of that is talking about that hurt with him. That's really hard to do. It's the only way I'm going to get past it.
So you and I are around the same age, right around when I turned 40. It was the first time I can remember my dad saying he was proud of me. And I drove home that night just a jabberjaw. Normally I'm a jabberjaw, amped up jabberjaw.
Yeah.
And I said to my wife, you heard it, right? Going back to the dream with your mom, by no means trying to dismiss it or trample on it or anything like that. But I felt like I was in a dreamlike state. Like, is this real? Is this not? Is this fake? Like AI. That was before I even really knew what AI was. You heard him say it. And she's like, yeah, honey, I heard it. Yep, I was there. I was right there. Yeah, it happened. I'm like, okay, now that you heard that, what are you going to do with it? Which, by the way, I've now recognized in 25 years of marriage. She says that a lot. What are you going to do with it? There are times I forget this phrase. I feel like I need to find somebody that can do woodwork. Maybe you know a guy. I want it on a nice piece of distressed wood. I want this phrase. My dad's proud of me. I don't care if anyone else is. That has two meanings, obviously. Heavenly Father, God, Jesus, one and the same, by the way. So I think we're believing in the same Jesus.
Yep.
God's equally as proud of me. I think some days. It's a struggle. Other days it's not. I'm sure it's the same for you. If my dad's proud of me, it doesn't matter what anyone else says. I don't have to win anyone else's approval. I don't have to go to Amazon to find fulfillment, try to find it on aisle 6 in Costco. I don't need it. My dad is proud of me. That's all I need. That's it. There is something intrinsically powerful when I feel like our Father doesn't see us, earthly or even heavenly. For you, I feel like there is still this angst, like, why didn't you want me? Maybe I'm misreading the room. If I am, of course, tell me, Matt.
I naturally, wonder that. I wonder, dang, man, what was wrong with me where you just kicked me out your life the way you kicked me out your life. Now I understand a little more, he was an alcoholic. He just wasn't ready to be a dad. I guess just him letting me come out there now, at least he tried it out. And he was honest that he couldn't do it. Point where now I get random text messages on Facebook saying, hey, I'm proud of you, son. I'm getting those proud texts now. And even though sometimes I don't respond back, sometimes I do. It's still nice to hear, it's nice to hear. That feels good. It makes up a little bit. Can't take the past back. At least he's trying now.
My parents separated in 1997, so we have a similar story in the fact that my dad basically told me to pack my stuff. I was leaving with my mom. I didn't want to leave with my mom. I wanted to live with my dad. I didn't want to leave the house that I had come to love, and it was right near everything, right near my school, right near my friends, right near everything. And then my mom and I ended up moving in an apartment across town. It was super inconvenient. I had to wake up extra early for school. It took me a long time to forgive him. My dad is named Gunny. He's a retired United States Marine. He earned the rank gunnery sergeant, so the short name is Gunny. And so in my phone, even to this day, my dad is not Dad. Kurt, like his given name is Gunny. And so when I want something from him, that's usually when I say Dad. I'm like, hey, Dad, can I have blah, blah, blah. Most of the time, it's Gunny. Like, hey, Gunny, I got you this bottle of rum. Here you go. Got it for your birthday or Merry Christmas. Here you go. But most of the time it's Gunny. Rarely is it Dad. I want to do something, again, much like we did for those folks at the McDonald's. You may send this to your dad if you choose to. This is your moment, maybe. What do you say to your dad that maybe you couldn't say or don't have the words to say? Do you want to say anything to him?
That I'm sorry for holding on to this resentment for this long. I'm sorry for hating you this long. I didn't know how to let that go. I know you've been trying to have a relationship with me for a long time. I've resented you for some things. Two-way street. I understand that. I'm sorry for my role that I played in all this separation. It wasn't just you, it was me too. And sorry for being a part of that separation.
Love that. Matt, why write the book and why should someone go out and check it out in your mind?
The book's on Amazon. It's on 40 different platforms. It's on Barnes & Noble. I wrote the book to give other people hope that maybe stop believing in themselves. They're fed up with continuing making the wrong choices time after time after time, trying to find a way out. For somebody that's given up on themselves, keep saying that it was their last time and they keep messing up. And maybe it's for somebody that's stuck in the street life that can't seem to figure it out. And maybe they're already doing good. Maybe you're already doing good and you want to figure out how to challenge yourself even more. Memoir, self-help type thing. But I think the difference between mine and other people's is I wrote mine through the process, the entire process, and instead of writing it after everything was all said and done. So you're getting the real-time thinking, emotions, and raw of what was going on in that moment. I think that's the difference between mine and other people. Hopefully, like the title says, the devil lost another one. Hopefully the person reading it, the devil loses another one. The next person that reads it, the devil loses another one. That's the point.
I love the idea of the devil loses another one on a lot of different levels. You don't know this maybe, but North Carolina's greatest rival is the Blue Devil.
Okay.
I always say, anytime the devil loses, I get excited. And that's obviously has a double connotation. The devil out in Durham, the Blue Devil, and then, of course, the devil that you're referring to in your book.
Amen.
I'm a big fan of the title because anytime the devil loses, I'm excited on more ways than one.
Yeah.
So, Matt, I just want to say, man, thanks for coming on. You could have been doing so many million of other things, I'm sure, working on a rap album, maybe, perhaps, I don't know.
Amen.
Maybe organizing the silverware drawer. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things you could have done.
I think this one better than the rap concert.
What do you got? You got something better than the rap concert? What do you got?
No, I said I think this was better than the rap concert.
This was better than the.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. All right,
Yeah.
This was better than the rap concert. I got you. All right.
Yeah.
No rapping in your future. I see. Okay. All right. Well,
no.
That's, again, maybe me judging. I thought you were a rap guy. Matt, and all joking aside, man, I appreciate what you shared. I love the fact that you were able to come on and really not only give us a sense of prison life, good concept of forgiving and the power of forgiving, how forgiveness, it's fluid. There's some people that you've been able to forgive. There's some people still maybe on your list that are hard to forgive, but that you're willing to go both ways with it, which I think is the important part. So, man, just want to say thanks so much for what you gave today and what you shared. Appreciate that.
Appreciate you having me on here.
All right, guys and gals, kids and campers alike. That's it. That's all. That's what that music means. It's time to go for today, just for today. Don't worry, though. Right back here next week. That's right. Next Wednesday, to be exact. If you want to get technical, it's next Wednesday. Before we go, before we say goodbye, before we shove off and do our thing, I want to ask you this question. Okay, first off, prison. That has its own connotation, spiritual connotation, metaphorical connotation, all kinds of connotations. I'm running out of connotation. I bet you right now, oh yeah, you know where I'm going to go. Yeah, you guessed it. I bet you right now some of you are still living in the prison of unforgiveness. You're so far into the prison of unforgiveness, you've even gone as far as putting yourself in isolation, solitary confinement, because you're like, no, I don't want anyone to be around me to give me any kind of hope that I can forgive. I am still to this day, even walking through this series, haunted by Kathy Sanders. We had her on a number of months back. She forgave Timothy McVeigh, the guy who did the Oklahoma City bombing, killed her grandkids. She forgave him. She forgave Terry Nichols. So if she can forgive, and I know that's hard, it's hard stuff. If she can forgive them, what stops you from forgiving the person on your list? OPSpodcast.com is a great place to let me know. You can, of course, let me know on the socials. We're there, mostly on Instagram, though. We're there on Instagram, Facebook, and X. That's right. Before you go, again, one last thing. Don't forget this. It's so important. Remember, when you walk in other people's shoes, you really do get a different perspective on life. I want to thank you so much for listening. I don't ever take that for granted. Thank you for listening. And stay tuned until next week when, guess what? Yep, that's right. We're going to walk in other people's shoes.